It's 2 o'clock. It's time for our brow demo. So let's talk about this brow bundle, my fave brow bundle, because it has everything you need. So I did a little trick for you to see. Can you tell one brow is done and one isn't? Brows definitely make a difference. So super important that you include that in your beauty routine. Personally, if I was just going to do a couple things really quick before I left the house, it would be concealer, brows, lashes, and lip gloss. Those are like my must-haves. I cannot leave the house without my brows done. So let's talk about some products I have here. So there is a brow bundle that I think is just a must-have for you. It comes with 4 different products, covers all the different things to get your best brows. So first we have Dawn's Brow Primer. This is a colorless wax that you'll lay down before you put your product on. It's going to keep those random loose hairs in place. It's also going to help your product go on a lot smoother. I never knew I needed a wax primer until I started using it, and then I'm like, oh my god, I need this every time. Next up, you have your brow pencil. This is for shaping and filling. This is going to be to really give you that shape you want and that color you want, and we'll go into more detail when I use that. Next, you have a Brow Light Duo Pencil. Now, this is probably my favorite product out of all 4 because it is such a versatile product. I use it for way more than just for my brows. But again, I'll show you more about that when we get to it. And then last but not least is your brow gel. This sets your brows, keeps them in place, gives them that nice shape that lasts all day. So let's talk about it. All right. Before we get started, let's talk a little bit about brow shape and brow tips. So your brows are never going to be exactly the same. They're not twins. They're sisters or cousins, however you want to look at it. So don't stress if they're super different. If I could give one personal piece of advice, I would say if you're having issues with your brows, go to a professional and have them shaped just your first time. Your one time, get them shaped professionally, and then from there, everything you do with them is going to make things so much easier. I have a lady by me. She's an esthetician, so she does facials and things like that, and she also does brows. So it's $21 to get your brows shaped, and it was the best $21 I ever spent. She also does touch-ups for $18, so on the calendar, pre-marked every 5 weeks, I go and see her. $18 in 5 weeks is less than my coffees. So thank you, Brittany. So for me, it's the best money spent. You might not need the touch-ups, you might just need that first one, but going to a professional to get them shaped your first time is going to help you moving forward with how they grow back, how you upkeep them, and how you fill them. So that's my first and number 1 tip. Now, while we're in quarantine and you cannot go get them shaped, and I'm dying because mine are long and crazy right now, here's a couple tips for how to shape them on your own. All right, so your brows should start at about the edge of your nostril. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit more of a fine point here. So take your pencil, whatever you're using to fill, go on the outer edge of your nostril and make a little mark. That is where your brows should start. So if your brows come in like this or go out like that, you got to either tweeze back a little bit or stop tweezing the inner side. Get them, for the most natural look, get them to start on the outer edge of your nostril. Okay? Second thing is your arch. Where should your arch go? If you take your pencil from the outside of your nostril and have it cross through the pupil of your eye and not hit your lashes, this is where the highest point of your arch should be. That's going to give you the most open look. If your arch is farther out, your eyes are going to look more droopy. If it's farther in, your eyes are going to look more like surprised and crazy. So you really want it to be a nice angle from the outer edge of your nostril through your pupil, and that's where the highest point of your arch will be. All right, and then the most natural place for your brows to end, we're still going to use the outside part of that nostril. You're going to go through the outer corner of your eye, and that's where your brows should end. Years of plucking has eluded me from that option happen naturally, so that's why I have to fill in. So those are your 3 starting points for creating the most natural brow shape on your own. If you don't have the option to go to someone, or maybe you have before but you just are trying to repeat that shape over and over, those are your starting points. Okay, so now that I know how I'm going to build my brow, now let's get into the product. Again, Dawn's primer. This is to prime your brows. It is a colorless wax. It is super, super helpful. Again, I never knew I needed a wax till I used it the first time. It's a little bit sticky, like a wax would be, so it's going to hold those little hairs in place, and it's really going to help your product go on smoother. So I usually just coat my brow and then I move on to step 2. So we have Avery's brow pencil here, ultimate fave, and I'll tell you all the reasons why I love it. All right, so it comes in 4 different colors: light, medium, dark, and deep. Hopefully you can find one that matches you best. It has a very thin pencil edge, so you can create those little hair-like shapes, twists up and down. Hey, Candace. The other part that I love is the other side is a built-in spoolie. It makes it super, super easy for blending and shading. I actually usually start with this edge, and after I put my wax in, I will brush my hairs up to start to get the shape that I want, and down and out on this side. All right, so hi, Courtney. So once I have my wax in to kind of get my crazy hairs in place and really help my product, then I'll start with my pencils. So what color should you choose? Now, they generally say choose the color that matches your hair color the best, but what about for those people who have like pink hair or blue hair? Well, I change the tips of my hair color a lot, and so I found what works best for me is I actually use 2 colors, and I'll tell you why. So my hair color is more closer to the dark. Okay, the Avery and dark. That's like a brownish, kind of medium to dark brown. But my eyebrow hairs are black. They match with the deep. So I use both of them, and what I found is it has given my eyebrows more dimension and look more natural. So they're matching my hair, but they're matching their natural, like hair-like, that their color that they're made of. So I use both, and it gives me more dimension. I usually start with the dark, so I'm going to outline kind of a bottom edge that follows these dots that I created using the dark, and this is going to guide the outer shape of my eyebrow. Bring it down to that dot. I do that on the top as well, as high as I kind of want it to go. Fill that in. I am definitely someone who wants thicker brows, but after those teenage years, this is about all I'm going to get. So I do add a little on top to make it a little thicker. Okay, and then I fill in a little bit any big holes. Take my other end and just brush it in. Then from there, I'll take my deep and I'll just add a little bit more in anywhere that didn't kind of fill completely, just a little bit, giving it a little bit more dimension and a more natural look, because now not only am I matching my hair color, but I'm matching the actual eyebrow hairs too. And then always blend that in. Okay, so definitely a more fuller look. Everything's kind of shaped out now. Let's move on to product number 3. So, like I mentioned very quick at the beginning, these Lacy's, hello Alyssa, thanks for hopping on. These Lacy Brow Light pencils are my favorite. They're versatile, they're easy to use, they come in 3 different colors. You can use them for so many things. You can throw them in your purse. This one is actually the rose gold color. It comes in rose gold, pink, and gold. I actually can't find my gold one, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But I'm using the rose gold one. Rose gold is the closest to my skin tone, So it can clean up the edges really nice and clean, and you don't even see a difference. Hey, Brittany, sorry, I had mentioned again. Okay, it almost did it again. Hopefully we're good. Okay, so I'm using the rose gold because it's closest to my skin tone, and I could just go around the edges of my brow here. It is being crazy, and kind of clean it up. It's super satiny, a really soft finish, so I can just use my finger to blend it in, or sometimes if I want a nice, so you can just use your finger or a little brush, but that's for cleaning up the edges with the matte side. And then the shimmer side, you can actually highlight your brow bone and give it a little glow. But since the rose gold is so close to my skin tone, I actually like using the pink or the gold instead because it'll pop a little more. And same thing, you can rub it with your finger or with a little brush. Sometimes I'll blend it in with my shadow, so I will do a little blend there and then take my shadow brush and just make sure it all blends together. Okay, and those are like your two original uses of Lacey, but she's so much more than that, so much more. So since the rose gold is close to my skin tone, I also like to use the matte side, and I can use it to conceal under my eyes. If I want a little pop, like a little vibrant color, I'll use the pink or the gold to really brighten it up under my eyes. And again, it's so satiny, I could just blend it with my finger. Okay. Then the shimmer side, we can do some highlighting, cheekbones, down your nose if you like, on your cupid's bow. And the reason why I'm missing my gold one is because I use this all the time. I like to take the glitter side and actually add it to my lip color. So right now I have a little ombre with berry liner and peony of the Molly Gets Matte, and then I take my matching brow light color. So usually I'm wearing the Chocolate Cosmos and Safari Sunset ombre look, so I use the gold. But now with this pink base lip color, I'm going to use the pink shimmer side, and I just put a little in the center and a little in the center to give it a little pop. You can coat that with your lip gloss, but just adding a little bit with this Lacey is amazing. So I love her. I use her for so much. Brow, cleaning, highlighting, face, highlighting, cupid's bow, even a lip contouring. Fantastic. And then last but not least is your Chris's Brow Gel. I love this for multiple reasons. First of all, it doesn't make, Lacey is the bomb for sure. Our gel does not make your eyebrows crunchy. I hate that. So she's going to keep your hairs in place, but your hairs will dry soft and natural. She is a clear gel. She has kind of like these plastic ribs. They're not like this. They're not like a spoolie. It's more like plastic, so it's really stiff to get those brows where you want it to go. And she has two openings on one side and two on the other. So you twist from the bottom. I usually only have to twist about 2 times, and it'll push the product out from those 2 sides. And I usually am able to just use one side on one brow and then use the other on the other brow. And what she really does is fluff up those hairs after you've put the product on, and then really get them to stay in place. So she is seriously like the finishing touch that you need for your brows. Really, really, oh, I see more product. I want to use it. I can't get enough of her. Okay. So I love her. Here we go. We got the primer, the pencil, the highlight, and the gel. One more thing. You can buy these individually. Maybe you really just want to start off with the pencil and the Lacey. Maybe you already have a primer and a gel that you want to use up first, and then you'll come back for this. Fine. You can buy them individually. Or you can buy them in a bundle, Thanks, Candace. Which is awesome because it's a deal. You get a discount. We've also created some bundles for you that match up with the correct pencil and lacy to go with different skin tones. So if you know you're like more of a medium to dark, we have a medium to dark one which has the correct pencil and the correct lacy that's going to go with your skin tone. So it's really foolproof. But what you also get with that is our handy dandy sharpener. You're like, okay, Jen, it's a sharpener. I can get that off Amazon for $5. No, no, no. This is an ultimate sharpener. So this cutesy little thing is all built together like this so you don't get those shavings at the bottom of your makeup bag. Disgusting, dirty, gross, annoying, right? But you can open up your sides, take off the top, and dump out your shavings when you're ready. Oh, there's some fell out. You have you have 3 different size holes for sharpening. So you have this smaller size, which fits your standard pencil. This works great for our contour with gray slip pencil. Then you have this side, which is a bigger side to fit your bigger pencils. But wait, you can take the insert out and you have a space for your jumbo pencils. So this fits fantastic for your Dawn's Brow Primer. And it also fits fantastic for your lacy. So, and you can sharpen it right in there. And then there is one more awesome part to the sharpener. On this side, you'll see a little pink toggle here. And you can't see, let me see if I can dump out my shavings. There's a little toggle on the side that you can move to adjust how you want to sharpen your pencils, okay? If I'm sharpening something over here, this is my small hole, and I want it nice and sharp. I want a nice pointy tip. Let's say I'm doing my contour with Grace pencil. I want a nice sharp outline of my lips. I'm going to move the toggle away, and that's going to let my pencil sharpen all the way to be a nice point. Well, let's say over here I'm doing my Dawn's Brow Primer and I want a little bit more blunt of an edge because I just want to cover all of my brow. I'm going to make sure that this toggle is pulled towards the primer so it stops it when it gets so far in there and gives you that more blunt or rounded edge. So not only does it sharpen 3 different size pencils, keeps all your shavings in place, it allows you to have the option to have sharp, pointed, sharpened pencils or blunt, rounded, sharpened pencils. So you're not going to find that on Amazon. I'm sorry. And you get it for free with a little bit extra of a discount too when you buy the bundle. So ladies, it is worth it. Get yourself a bundle. That is how you do your brows. All right, Candace, my lip color is Berry Contour with Grace. Peony Molly Gets Matte, and then the pink lacy brow pencil for a little highlight. If you ladies have any questions, feel free to drop them below. Send me a message. Contact your ambassador to order. Bye. Have a great weekend.